up, world? It's your boy Mark Waldo Ward, Super Fact Show, Super Fast Network. Today we got with us the Pride of Dallas, DJ Tellum, aka Menace. How you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. How you?
I'm chilling, chilling. To be real with you, I'm just learning about you. You put a post up on Facebook saying that you had something you want to get off your chest and do some interviews, and Mr. Rick Boston from Woo Management tagged me. Before we get into that, though, why Menace?
Why Menace? Well, Menace is a name I went by in my younger ages. I was like basically a menace to society, so they just called me Menace, and it kind of just stuck with me. Other than that, it was a rap name that I was as well as doing. It stood for microphone menace, so I was a menace on the microphone. So it was started just being Mike Menace. So Menace just always been there. It just originated from when I was young.
Words, and I imagine like cats who met you back then, they probably still call you Menace because the first name you meet somebody by, that's the first name you remember them buying.
Yep.
Shit. But just
actually,
out of curiosity, not good.
Go ahead. And the crazy thing is they called me Menace, but before that I was trying out names. I was K9. See, my real name is Kevin. So K and 9 is when I was like really in tune with the music and I was getting known for my music capabilities. So I just went with K9. So it was yeah, levels to it.
Hey, I tell you what, brother, I like Menace way better than I like canines.
Yeah.
Hey, but without getting, you don't gotta reveal no details. But when you was in the Menace to Society portion, was you more of a O dog or a cane?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, no, let's make that a more innocuous question. Which one is your favorite character?
I gotta say Kane. But
hey, you still be watching that shit, hoping that he don't die at the end?
You know what I'm saying? Like just on the thin line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, he was on Rap a Lot for a minute.
Oh, really? See, I didn't know that, but see, Rap a Lot's huge. Rap a Lot's everywhere.
You know the Ghetto Boys jump? They got the crackhead smoking in front of the White House. They got like Yuck Mouth on it.
Yeah.
He's on that John. He even says, "I came to bring the pain." It's a loped out G for Menace to Society, the one known as Kane.
Oh snap!
Yeah, that really was Kane.
Wow. I never just thought about that and just actually just listen as until you just said it plain as day. No, I didn't even.
Hey, that's an underrated album, man. Like out the Ghetto Boys.
Very underrated.
Like that shit go hard as a motherfucker. I don't necessarily know how much of a Ghetto Boys album it is, but as an example of who was on Rap a Lot at the time and some Mike Dean production, yeah, that shit was vicious.
Exactly.
But I got you straying away from the main point. What was it that you took to social media that you were looking to do interviews and talk about?
Just a lot of different stuff. The name DJ Tellum basically means I don't sugarcoat nothing, and I'm not gonna lie to you or BS you. And I don't like people getting over on other people. So I expose a lot of people that's bad business or do bad business in certain ways. So if it might have been something that pertains to independent artists, because I support them a lot, and they do, a lot of having to pay for certain events and not really getting nothing, the bang for their buck. You know what I'm saying? And
I know exactly what you're saying, bro. I try to do that. That's the Lord's work, because you gotta look at it like this: if someone financially takes advantage of an independent artist, well, what if that was their one shot? And let's say that independent artist had been Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. You're right.
And now the world don't got Kendrick Lamar because of some motherfucking scams, because of some scam artists.
Yes. And see, there's so many scammers and quote unquote janky promoters that it's hard for the ones that are serious and genuine to basically get their services out there. It's harder, but it's not just not being able to do it at all. But it's just harder because you got people that did people so wrong that they're scared to spend $20 here. They're like, oh man, as soon as you say Cash App, they think it's fraud or, you know, anything of that nature. So yeah.
But then an artist wants to get on a label where a label pays everything, but that $20 thing gets invoiced from the label for like $2,800.
Exactly. They don't understand that. They don't understand it at all. That's another aspect of the business. Like, I did so much in the music industry. I transferred and went and learned a lot of business skills as well, and knowledge on the industry as well. And that's one thing you got to know, as well as you just know your craft that you're doing. I'm saying you got to love the whole bit of it. Like, if you're not gonna go, you know, all the way in, then don't go in there tippy toeing. You know what I'm saying? Because the business side will tear you apart.
Word, but I mean, this ain't like, you know, the fucking 1950s where records are just
Yes.
coming out and it's like mafia motherfuckers taking advantage of people who had never dealt with contracts before. Like everybody done seen all the biopics and all that shit by now. Like why you think people still be getting hit with the okie doke?
It's always gonna be a new way for people to get over on people. So it's, you know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be that new way of getting paid easier, or by just sitting at your home on a computer saying that you're somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They make it so easy that it's just gonna be, I mean, I guess it's just gonna keep evolving.
Well, me and you ain't never spoke before now, but I can tell that by far you ain't no dummy. And,
Now,
and I would like to assume that you, maybe even earlier than me, but like by the age of 12, I was well aware that if they ain't nothing for free. If somebody's giving me something, they gonna want something more down the line.
yes, 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 yes. And that's the whole thing about this. Like, I do a lot of shows and stuff, and I throw events as well. And I tell people that I work with, like, okay, so you want me to help you with this event, or you want to do this? What's our incentive? Everything's about incentives. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's why would I want to go here? Why are you going to go to a Lil Wayne concert if you don't like Lil Wayne? You know what I'm saying? What's your incentive? You know, you always have to have something to bring them in with. So incentive.
Got you. What was there any specific entities that have been taking advantage of artists that you wanted to tell people about? And you know, not to get no views or nothing, but you know, to keep people from wasting their money on them.
Let's see. There's a few in Dallas. But the thing about that is, the thing about bad business cannot be universal, I guess, in a lack of words to use. Meaning it could be bad business for me, but good business for the next person. Kind of sort of like what you just said earlier. So, but I know what I've went through. So there's a few names. Let me go through them like this. There's a DJ nonetheless out here. Some people mess with him, some people don't. Anybody that I've messed with, if I name them, it's because I've actually dealt with them. Where, you know, with him, it was money situations, you know, saying scamming artists. He's a couple artists I know to this day that he still owes money to. Actually, there's an event that I'm putting together, a movie premiere, and an artist that I'm collabing with on that, he owes them money. So there's a lot of people that just owe money out here. That's a big thing out here, owing money. It's not necessarily like anything other than that, than owing money, and I like to call it bringing hood famous people to these events and charging people like it's a celebrity type event. Like, you're gonna really get that, you know, like you're gonna really get something from it, and you're just with the same people that's around the corner from you, or really is not as big as they may seem. You know, a few big names, that, or local hood names, that people, you know, ride.
Hey, you see the chat?
What do they say? Let me see.
That's not that. This ain't live. That's me. I put that there.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that's one too. That is one too. That is definitely one. The thing about let me go ahead and get into this one. The thing about Coast to Coast is as big as it is, you don't get anywhere from it. I personally have an R&B artist, Ace Wonder, who won second place. All he got was the chance to go to another spot, which, you know, really it's a lot of favoritism game as well. But other than that, he just got a DJ drop from it saying that he was a second place winner. You know what I'm saying? Which is really too much of nothing in an email. You know what I'm saying?
hold on.
It's
So,
not like,
so you mean if he was on the radio and they said, what's his name, Ace Wonder? Ace Wonder won second place in the coast to coast. That wouldn't get him more spins. It wouldn't make the phone lines light up for people being like, "Yo, I gotta hear who the coast to coast silver medalist."
yes, but
Hell no, I'm being facetious as a motherfucker. Nobody
you
care about that shit.
Okay, I'm the type where I can go into an empty room and I'm gonna walk out of there with something because I'm gonna take opportunity out of everywhere I go. I don't care if there's 3 people in there. I'm gonna get 2 of their contact information and make that work to where we're collabing on something later on in life. Yes, so that can be something. And what I would do, let's say outside the box thinking. Actually, that's what he does. He's a crazy thing. He's an artist, but he's also a DJ as well. So he uses that drop when he does his performances. So
I got you.
He can use it for his benefits to certain stuff. But as far as the I mean, they're doing stuff for people in Canada. I mean, coast to coast is everywhere. As big as it is, it should have way more of an impact. It should be bigger than just.
Well, what's the most successful artist that got launched by Coast to Coast as a platform?
Oh, I can't even name one. I can't even name one, not one. And the thing is, I know coast to coast people that are judges that I know the heads of the company, you know what I'm saying? But I still don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't. It's kind of just like another thing we have out here. I agree with, but don't agree with to a certain point. Rip the mic is what we have out here as well. It's a independent artist showcase. I think it's like $75 or $100, and you get judged. I've judged it many times, and it's very professionally judging. I mean, everything from etiquette to verbiage and everything of that nature. But I don't know. It's just not worth it as much as they make it seem. So I don't really agree with their methods, kind of like others, because it's not. I don't know. People try to make small stuff so big, but you understand that they only do that because they're really greedy. You know what I'm saying? It starts to be that hunger for not only money, but other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your hunger is for, that you start scamming and doing these events where you're saying this person can help you and you're putting this A&R in this building. And you know how many times QC's label's been out here, but it's not really QC. Like
Right.
I try to tell people, like, that's not the real people. Like, that's another thing. Do your research. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go in blindfolded. Do your research. Know who these people are. If they say a name, go check that name. Wikipedia is a fool. Google's a fool. YouTube's a fool. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifelong dictionary of information. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, as far as I know, you should like, why ever pay to perform if you're not getting paid to perform? Like I've never heard of somebody, like, let's say I don't know, 42 Doug is performing in your city, and you
yes.
pay to open up for him. I mean, I don't know, you might make more fans in your city, maybe, but I mean, theoretically, but maybe nobody's even in there yet. And it might be like 15 other people who done paid to do that, and all y'all get like 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's
and I just don't see how it ever, but like that money could be better spent on making your visuals better, about improving your SEO, which will then get you booked to perform.
See, that's true. And then what artists don't understand as well is they can get paid for every performance. I mean, BMI is a fool. A lot of artists do not even know and are registered and don't even know that they're over here doing these performances, $20, $10, yada yada, and can be getting something back from it. You can put your performance out there and get paid from that, and like there's other aspects of getting your money. Have merchandise. You know what I'm saying? If you really believe, like, if you just really just trying to be out there and do gigs just like that, and $20 is nothing to you, and you just want to be heard like that, have everything put together. Just don't go out there without a plan, because then you're just losing.
So it seems to me like you have it in your heart to help people with this, and I noticed that you put together mixtape projects. Maybe you should do one where everyone who gets on it has to register with BMI. You know, like you can
That's
you can get them registered.
I like that idea. I like that because I'm already doing support costs nothing is a saying that I go by. Um, so I'm doing that of independent artists at the moment. But I like that idea. Actually, I'm gonna do
That's like
that.
that's like some teaching someone to fish instead of giving them a piece of salmon type shit.
And see, and I try to do that. So I do a lot of stuff to where um I give them out free gems or loopholes around stuff or certain stuff of that nature. Um, it got kind of to the point where I was giving out too much free game, and the OGs was like, "Hey man, look, you need to start charging, man, because you're giving out too much free game. You need to be charged." So it just got to where I pick and choose, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, I want to see everybody win. It's an independent game right now. It's not you know what I'm saying? It's not a mainstream like everything is mainstream like it used to be. Like it's Independence Day, I guess you could say, for lack of terms. It's Independence Day for everything from starting your own business to starting your own everything. So if you're not taking advantage now, well, hey.
Word. You know, before we go though, it's mad more stuff than just that. I'd like to talk to you about. Being that you're from Dallas, out of curiosity, did you know Lil Pooh?
Well, who?
Lil Pooh.
No, okay. I had maybe like a couple like run-ins, but not knowing him personally. Like I've been doing this, but knowing him personally, no, nah,
He wasn't in Dallas very long once he started rapping. You know,
not very long at all.
he went to Houston and then he got into artist management. He was in Atlanta and California, so you know
That's
that's not
that.
surprising. But you
That's that
know,
smart.
yeah. But while we're talking about dope Dallas artists, they're underappreciated. One that I
Hmm.
see that you've been involved with is Fat Pimp.
Oh yes, that's bro, Chris. Yeah, man, that's the fam.
Bro,
That
I love Fat Pimp. I got a CD book over there that's like my Texas book, and that shit's like this thick, and I swear I got at least like 15 Fat Pimp because I lived in Houston and swapped A-Leaf for a minute, and
oh
so
man,
you're like off Westheimer, so I caught mad like I don't know if you call them mixtapes, but they albums that wouldn't be in fucking FYE. You feel me?
yeah, exactly, man. That's crazy. I've been the crazy thing about how I met Pimp was well, I call Chris Murder. How I met him was I got in and got in where I fit in type situation. It's crazy. He is currently now being ran or managed and under a company of Loud Music, which is over Zero, Flip, and their current add-on, which is Bobby Valentino, which is about to do a versus. Um, I saw an opportunity to kind of like be in the game a little more than just a local level. He was doing, a lot of shows and stuff. So I
Right.
started just going to his shows and then we just started being cool. And then, he's coming out performing with Zero because they got sets together and stuff. And I'm backstage with him and Zero. So it's like, man, like that's the bro. And I've been supporting him, all the stuff he does. All his singles. I mean, the newest single he got right now as we speak. Well, actually, newest single about a month ago was Sneaky Link. Right now it's by BYE. But yeah, man, that's the bro. That's the bro. Have you interviewed him?
Nah, I would. It would be an honor and a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Hey, yeah, that's the bro. That's the bro.
Shit, that's what's up. Now, tell me about what you're doing with this Delta 8.
Oh man.
For
Well,
those that
that
don't
was
know,
kind of
Delta 8 is like a portion of the marijuana. Tell me if I got this right. A portion of the marijuana plant that's very similar to the THC, but it's from a different enough part of the plant that it's not illegal, and you can get some of the very similar effects.
exactly that. Exactly that. For lack of other the easiest way is just it's lesser of a weed. It's like 0.3 and or 0.2, and I think the illegal amount is 0.3, so it's like 0.2 or something like that. Delta 8, I kind of slowed down from doing the business with it because it kind of died down and slowing down now, but I still
Right.
deal with it. But Delta 8 is basically like, the real weed that's not real weed.
Right.
It's going to show up in your, THC is going to show up. That point, yada yada is going to show up, but it's not enough to knock you out or do no real damage, I guess you could say. It's more of like a common nerve, kind of like a CBD, better than CBD, I guess you could say. So right between CBD and real weed.
Got you. And I'm gonna say it wrong because I'm recovering, so this past my time. Is it Clique vodka?
Oh man, Click Vodka.
Click vodka. Okay,
Yes.
are you still doing the Click vodka stuff?
That's okay. So Click Vodka is a yes or no. I was brought in by someone that wasn't really a part of Click Vodka. That was basically like a subcontracted person that was basically going to distribute it in Texas because we didn't have it out here. They didn't do right by it and didn't get their distribution center up and running, or whatever the case. They didn't have everything credentials, so they didn't get it to go ahead. They basically took our money. Me, Mr. For the people, I fought back and was like, you know what? I tell people all the time, if I want Denzel Washington in a music video, I'm gonna get a hold of him. You know what I'm saying? So I took it on behalf of myself, for me and my team and anybody else that I brought in that spent money and we lost it, to go and hit the CEO up. So I did, and I got contact with him. And he was like, man, I'm sorry, this happened to you. Give me everything, the rundown, and I'm gonna call you on this day and that day. So I did, and got the rundown. So now basically I am. I'm just waiting to get that finalized stamp to and boxes of material. So it kind of worked out for my favor in the end, but it started out on a jank.
Small setback for a major comeback, right?
Oh yeah, always. That's why I don't stress about the stuff like I used to when I was younger. Like everything's for a reason. When something doesn't happen, there's some stuff doesn't happen, like where I've gone to or supposed to be at a club and I don't go, or something happens and I can't make it, and I'm like, dang man, man. And then I find out it got shot up. I'm like, whoa, okay. You know what I'm saying? Certain instances, you're like, okay, well, let me just go with the flow, because if something's not supposed to happen, something's not supposed to happen.
Word. But speaking of being at the club and things that are supposed to happen, and maybe not at the club, what's the most impressive performance you ever saw?
Oh man, most impressive performance would have to be like an independent artist out here. I do so many showcases and independent artist things out here. Like I tell you people all the time, if I don't know you, and it's like, where have you been? Paid Wade would be one of the people I would say. PaydWade. Very, 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 very underrated. From music as well as overall just bringing it. I mean, I've seen him wear robes with a wig to stepping on bars and jumping on tables and grinding on girls. Like he's an entertainer, and that's another thing they don't understand. This is it's good to be the artist and have your vote and everything put together, but you got to be an entertainer. This is an entertainment business, and he's at the top of that as far as what I've seen.
Hey, you're right about that, because think about all the bands that was out there with like the Rolling Stones and them that was going like multi-platinum and all that, but you don't remember none of them now.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And it was that entertainment aspect of like a good front man, like a Mick Jagger or Steven Tyler that sets people apart. I mean, yes. Personality, not to disrespect Nori, because I think Nori is a great rapper, but his personality, I feel, took him a little further than his lyrical ability would have by itself.
Yeah, I feel like they took, but that's a lot of that's the great thing about this or anything you do in life. You sometimes jump into something and then figure out something else is either better for you or maybe more suitable for you. So like a lot of people I know that's artists that come to these gigs and then they're holding down the microphone like an MC or a host. And I'm like, whoa, man, you got to give for that. You know what I'm saying? Like that might be, your thing right there, or they might do this a little better. Or like I started as an artist, you know what I'm saying? I was with Alien ENT. Now I'm a DJ and I'm running my own, coalition and all kind of different things. So You never know where it's gonna take you.
Word. You know, speaking of all kinds of different things, where it's going to take you, let's finish out with this. Can you tell me about this Bad Boxer movie and the tour that you got going along with it?
Yes, sir. Okay, that's Bad Boxer movie tour. That is actually Mo McCoy. Um, he is a native from Dallas, but he's moved back out to Vegas, I believe he's in. But he basically just put together a tour for a movie, which is crazy. And he's currently on the tour. We're next July 5th. Um, the movie is Bad Boxer, about a boxer that goes through, life struggles, urban film. So you could probably take the spin off of that just with that. Some notable people that's corresponded or incorporated with it. The Money Team, Floyd Mayweather Sr., he's in the film. Floyd Mayweather's actual brother as well is in the film as well, Justin. Jeff is in it as well. Also, Jeff is in it too. That's three of them. So the Money Team's on it. Let's see, Freeway Rick Ross. It's a dope film. Like, he's got some notable people in this film, and it's not one of his first films. He's got films that's been on BT, 50 other films. I mean, Wu-Tang's remastering a few of his films as we speak. So this is not just like some guy that's just not doing this. And then I jumped to the opportunity when they hit me up and say that I'm plugged, because basically anything that you want or need, I'm going to be able to tell you where to go get it, or I'm going to be able to do it for you. So they said we need a venue. We were looking for a venue for this movie premiere, and I was like, well, okay, yada yada, boom. And then they put me a part of it, and I was like, hey man, this is dope. So like, it's a tour, okay, boom. Nobody's doing a tour with movies. You know what I'm saying? So that was a game changer in itself. I love new stuff, the new things that can be like the pioneer, type instance. So I jumped at that opportunity. So we're having that July 5th. I'm actually having it's going to be a premiere of the movie, so the full movie, and afterwards I'm gonna have it as a networking event. So therefore, all creatives or even artists that want to talk to the director, screenwriters, and everything get plugged in themselves. Perfect opportunity. So that's another thing. I give people opportunities to make an opportunity. So yeah, that's basically the rundown on that.
Hey, let me ask you this though: if there was an artist who had a successful movie, like let's say it's won a couple of film awards, but they haven't had a tour or anything of that nature, do you think after doing this you would have the ability to help set that up for them?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I haven't. This is not my first rodeo with tours. Period.
But like you said, the film tour is kind of a unique animal.
But it is, yes, and it is unique. So it was just that much more better that I already had the experience of dealing with tours already. So it was like, okay, boom. So yeah, I would be, I would push for more people to do it, honestly. And they're doing it. I mean, they're getting donations as they go. They're going to these different places and connecting with people. I mean, it's crazy where it's been in the videos and everything I'm seeing already. And I mean, he's putting together a separate video as well for that. So basically, anybody that's a part of this event, that's another big thing. Anybody that's a part of this event, whether it is you're there in the building or you want your logo to be a part of it, or whatever the case is, that's going to be a part of the ending credits of the film when it's put out to Tubi, Amazon, all that. So it's it's big opportunities. If you want to see your name go across the screen, that's type of opportunity where you can say to somebody, "Hey, man, I've been in a film," and you don't have to say, and you don't, other than saying it and not having to prove. I tell everybody all the time, I have a paper trail for everything I say or do. I have receipts for everything I say or do, because I'm not, what I'm saying. If you have receipts, you can't be a liar. So therefore, like, this opportunity. I mean, if you got your names at the ending of a film, I don't care what the movie is. It could be probably the crappiest movie in the world, but it's at the end of a movie. Somebody put their whole, money and life and heart into. Come on, man. That opens doors for you. You know what I'm saying? It gives the opportunity for you. It might be a resume for you.
Yeah, most definitely. And then last thing, where can they find you on social media, and which ones do you use the most? The best place to interact with you at?
Best place is probably Facebook. I've made Facebook like my Instagram is supposed to be.
Gotcha.
um, but you can find me. They can find me anywhere. DJ Tellem. DJ Tellem. Doesn't matter how you put it. I mean, you can put in Google. I'm gonna still be the first and only person that pops up. So just look me up, DJ Tellem, all platforms. I use Instagram and Facebook, but Facebook is the most one.
I will. I'm gonna hit you up later offline about somebody I know who got a movie. But I
Yeah.
appreciate your time, brother, and let's touch base down the road and talk about some more music shit. Maybe we can nerd out over some Texas music.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely. And I appreciate you.
No doubt, man. You take it light. You have a good one.
All right then. You too.
Yes, sir. Peace.